Y'all are so bad. Y'all are really, really bad at fantasy football. No Gary, no Cheese, no Alex. You're also bad. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, finessers, finesses. We are back. The trash bag, ready to drop some knowledge on you animals this afternoon. It's the few days leading up into my trip to Baltimore to watch the Ravens blow a second half lead. I called the Baltimore Ravens ticket office today and asked, since the Ravens, the product I am purchasing, are only going to entertain for one half, could my tickets be half price? They were far from entertained. They did laugh, but nonetheless, that's where we are with that. A lot of things happened this day. I'm out of Takis eating all of you. My mouth is extremely hot. A lot of things happened this week. I'm going to go over some matchup breakdowns, high man, low man. Just some things that the league needs to be made aware of. The trading this week has been absolutely absurd. What some of the conversations I've had with you are shocking. It's like you're okay with being inept. I don't get it. I mean, it's out here sending legitimate offers, and receiving illegitimate offers. I'm not even going to go into detail about that. I don't have but a few minutes. But I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, you're all a bunch of animals. I can't even have an adult conversation without Calder and Skeet doing ridiculous stuff, and I can't even get Cheese on the phone. But I don't know. I don't know what he. I don't know. What else happened? I'm gonna go over just laughable team performances, a few prop bets, some storylines, per the usual. Some things that go down, per the usual here. But yeah. We got. Hold on. Wait, man. What is that? Wait. What is that? Y'all know what it is. It's the Ravens ACL tracker. As you could imagine, we had someone else added to this list. It was not an ACL, but it was an injury nonetheless, and that is every single week we've had a fairly significant injury. Rashad Bateman is in a walking boot. So if any of you guys can walk, tell him ability to do so. Our running back, who's averaging 6.7 yards a carry, he is also out. So it's kind of becoming a little bit ridiculous. It's borderline clockwork at this point. No Clay refusing a trade on being clockwork. It just, I don't know. I don't know what y'all want me to say. I'm gonna go over some of the things that went down last week. Me and Zach came down to the wire. I mean, it literally was like down to the last minute. Like, the Stafford got he got fumble, which brought it back down. I think it brought me to like a 7-point lead at that point. But had he thrown a touchdown, or especially a touchdown to Tyler Higbee, it would have been a wrap at that point. So yeah, it came down in the last minute. No Joe Biden's run in office on coming down to the last minute. Both one ended abruptly and the other should end abruptly. Call no every president ever on not being very good at what they do. But anyway, what else happened? Alex, Alex, I think he's got like the 4th or 5th highest points in the league, which isn't like, it's not like a world beater, but he's also doesn't have the most points against either. He's like 6th. So, I mean, just middle of the pack all around. No Kirk Cousins on being middle of the pack. He's 1-3. I don't really understand how that's even possible. I haven't looked at all his scores, but you would think it's kind of one or the other. I mean, if you're getting loads dumped off up in you, then you would think like, oh, you're probably 0-4, no Gary, or you just don't have a lot of points. You're probably 1-3, no Cheese. It's just, you would think normally being middle of the pack in points scored and points against does not correlate to a 1-3 record. Albeit, nonetheless, no cap. Alex, I present to you a wage. I present to you a point scored. I present to you record, and I present to you relevance in league this year, brother. It's really hard to watch what you're doing this year. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now, granted, I appreciate the activity. I can't fault you for that. The anti alone is glaring, considering the fact you and Cheese have the same record, despite the completely different styles of play and communication. So that's shocking in and of itself. What else happened this week? Cheese, and back to Cheese. He's continuing to reap what he sows. He's got a 1-3 record. You kind of get out what you put in, and it's kind of showing. It's a shame, really, because I think he knows what he's doing. I just don't think he puts nearly. And I'm not even asking you to be I'm not asking this to be a job, right? I'm just asking you to. I just don't think he puts forth the required effort to sustain a legitimate fantasy football team, and his record and points are reflective of that, if that makes sense. And one thing is just not reflective of Calder's 3-1 record. Just simply not good. I know Gary on not being good. I just don't get it. He's not bad, but I mean, the dude just gets spoon-fed. I mean, Miles Sanders scoring any points at all, it's disgusting to even think. I would not, if I had to start someone, if I was rolling out Miles Sanders as my running back too, Lord have mercy. Call no Najee Harris on being disgusted as an RB2. It's hard to even fathom being that inept. Back to Calder. Calder, he was 2-1. Had he played somebody with any skill whatsoever, he might have been 2-2. But nonetheless, he is 3-1, and I think Matt and Clay are all tied at 3-1. Matt has the most points in that division. I have the most. I have the lead in my division, but Ski has the most points in the league. Wow, he's horrible. So Calder kind of got a little bit of playing Gary. He got kind of a little bit of a free pass to Hillary Clinton on being given out free passes. No, Glenn Maxwell. I don't know, man. He played decent, but I mean, had Gary just not been just a fraction of as bad as he is, we wouldn't have been. Maybe he could have beat him. But let bygones be bygones, as Cheese would say. I digress, and we move on. Calder point scored. And Clay, man, Clay was able. He absolutely thrashed Skeet. I mean, it was embarrassing. I think it was 50 plus. It was hard to even witness, but Clay is doing something that I would never imagine anyone with basic use of their prefrontal cortex would even do. He has Dalvin Cook without Alexander Madison. I offered Madison on the low, and I tried to buy Dalvin Cook on the high, and he said no. He shot me down in my prime. No Chubbs Peterson or being shot down in his prime. He just just the thought of having Dalvin Cook without Madison. It's like you're swimming in a pool. And you've got matches in your hand, right? It's like you're swimming in a pool of gasoline with matches in your hand. It's just a ticking time bomb. Clay has a 3-1 record with not that many points scored in this league, and you would think he would not. I mean, when Dalvin Cook goes down, not if, when Dalvin Cook goes down. Not only does he spoon feed me the victor, I mean, I don't foresee a situation if I have Saquon Barkley and Alexander Madison with my receivers and Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson and the best quarterback in the NFL, who's apparently Jared Goff, then I don't see how I lose. So Clay really, really, really needs to think about what he's doing. He needs to do the league a favor. He needs to do himself a favor. I'm not trying to finesse you, brother. I just want you to be great. I want you to be great. I want me to be great. I want the league to be equitable. I want the league to be fair. No tax brackets on not being fair. But yeah, we'll go through and we'll see. But I digress. Clay, Highman, 149. An absolute bomb was dropped on Skeet's camp. Thanks to Clay and his band of misfits. And that's all I got to say about that. Cheese, yet again, low man. There's nothing really more to say. You know, it's a shame, but there's nothing more to say. The 9/11 level postal came from the Detroit Lions. Never thought you'd heard of that one, have you? Jared Goff, 33 points. They have the worst defense in the league and the best offense in the league. If you don't, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that level of ineptitude. The amount of garbage time and passing that's got to be done just for them to sustain relevance in the NFL. It's shocking that I've never seen it. They literally have the most points in the NFL by a lot too. It's literally not even close. I think they got 30 on the next closest person, but they've also given up the most amount of points in the league. The Ravens don't give up points, so I don't see this really stopping. I'm the biggest Jared Goff is not good at football advocator. He is not good. I can assure you that he's just not. I promise you he's not. But the situation has presented itself, and believe it or not, I think he's QB4. He averages 23 points a game. And Lamar's 28. It's ridiculous. I literally think it's Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Jared Goff. You tell me you would have seen that, I'd tell me you're lying to me. You're lying to me. And you tell me you see that coming, I would say you were lying to me. The most pathetic team performance is the Colts. How do you lose to the Titans? And Mike, you made Ryan Tannehill look like a stud. So, I mean, the dude, he just marched down the field. He was just shoving it down their throat. And no Disney on shoving things down our throat. And it was embarrassing. It was hard to watch. And I've got their defense. I'm just sitting here like, why can we not stop Ryan Tannehill? He's arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL, besides Russell Wilson and Derek Carr. Man, it's just embarrassing. But, again, I digress. The Browns losing to the Falcons. I have never in my life, nor have I ever, nor will I ever witness such ineptitude ever again. How on earth do you lose to the Falcons? I'm fairly certain. And Cordell Patterson went out early, so they're just juggling backup running backs. No Ravens on doing that. And they lose. Nick Chubb went crazy. I just don't understand how bad you can be as the Browns. The Carolina Panthers, they are the worst team in the NFL, and there are no questions about it anymore. I don't want that to be the case, but it is the case. They're the home team. But, man, Baker Mayfield, he's got to be one of the worst starting quarterbacks I've ever seen, right? The fact he's allowed to parade around the NFL at gridiron is shocking to me. I'm certain I could do better. I mean, I would just dump it down to McCaffrey and be like, okay, bye-bye. Bye. Have fun, McCaffrey. Go get some points for Zach. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? And finally, Matthew Stafford. I appreciate the effort from him. I appreciate the win. And like I said, I called it. It was going to be closer than you animals thought it was going to be because Matthew Stafford's just not that good at football. He is playing a good defense that gets after the quarterback at 49ers. 49ers have some of the most loyal fans in the NFL, and I don't know why. I guess they're just so. I guess ineptitude is just normalized there. So I guess it's just okay at that point. But yeah, okay, we'll go over some of the matchups, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I got stuff to do. We'll go over some of the waiver wires too. Gabe Davis was added for $12. I put in 6. Alex put in 7. I think both of us thought that was a sneaky ad, and neither of us got him. So Skeet literally gave Evan Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So any point score at 1 and 3, the most points being scored at 1 and 3 complaint moving forward will probably be dismissed due to poor managerial skills. No Gary on having poor managerial skills. I picked up Isaiah Pacheco. He got a ton of carries for the Chiefs. Sign me up for that. I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is sustainable. Allen Robinson was rightfully so. He was dropped. Wow, he's bad at football. Or Matthew Stafford's racist. Either of which, he should not be rostered anymore. I picked up George Pickens due to a absolute peppering of targets from Mr. Kenny 3 Picks Pickett. Let's see what else. Mike Boone in replacement of Kadarius Toney. Love it. Kadarius Toney's awful. And that's about it for that. And real quick, last week, I think I went through most of this. Last week was I beat Zach. Thank you, Matthew Stafford. Calder beat Gary. Gary's easy. Clay dumped one off in Skeet. Skeet, you're easy. Evan dumped one off in Cheese. Cheese, you're not good. And Galt beat Alex. Wow, Alex is so bad. The fact that Alex lost to Galt's band of misfits. I don't even know who Galt started at quarterback. I have no idea. I mean, TJ Hawkinson getting a 40 piece, that's a little much. Not gonna lie, it's a little much. And I'm all for spoon feedings. I love accepting stuff that never happens to me. But man, TJ Hawkinson, the dude had 9 catches for 180 yards and 2 tutties. How? The dude is just not good at football, and I would imagine that would be exploited moving forward. This week we've got, let's see who we got this week. We've got Team Cheese and Andrew, so I'll be 4-1. The match of the week is probably gonna be Zach and Clay, 3-1, 3-1. Projections are close. You've got Evan and Gary. So Evan's had 2 free wins with Gary and Cheese. You've got Galt and Calder, which also could be match of the week. I might actually switch the match of the week because Clay and Scoggins aren't going to talk as much junk. Both are 3-1, but I think Scoggins and Matt and Calder are really going to be going at each other, kind of chirping at each other, and that's kind of funny. So I'm going to declare that the match of the week. That projected total, wow, that projected total is 114.8 to 114.6. Goodness gracious, I hereby declare that match of the week. Goodness, that's incredible, guys. That will be the match of the week moving forward. Plenty of junk will be talked. We'll go over a couple prop bets, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bust one on out of here. Let's see here. Prop bets. Here you go. Josh Allen, 2.5 total